Tonight, we are going to talk about the unsung heroes of YouTube. Moderators. Moderators, yeah, without a moderator, live chat would be just chaos. And who better than to talk about chaos and moderation than the Paul Duncan, Mr. Moderator. So, welcome to the stream, Paul. Yay.
Thank you.
Yeah, how are you doing tonight?
Good to be here. Now that we've got the kinks straightened out, hopefully much better than I was.
Yeah.
It's been a fun evening.
Yeah.
I'm going to blame it on Apple.
I blame Apple. I decided Apple just ate up all the bandwidth and we're just having to use what's left. So, Yep. Anyway, so Paul, it's just amazing having you on here. I just, people don't know. If you would just give them like the brief bio of the Paul Duncan.
Oh, geez. I retired in 2018 from the Telecom world, which I was in since 1985. And then I retired and thought, things are going to go quiet from that point on. And then the pandemic hit, which made things real quiet. And then I discovered Ecamm. I was helping a friend. She was going to do some live streaming or wanted to do some live streaming for her life coaching program. And I told her, okay, I'll help you. So I started doing some investigating and I found Ecamm and got involved in that. And she decided that the timing wasn't right for her to do live streaming. And I just kind of hung around for a while, kind of ran into Doc's stream. Doc made me a moderator in his stream. Big mistake. And then Ecamm was doing their Leap workshop thing and asked me if I'd help with that, which I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I helped with that. And then that turned into becoming an actual moderator for Ecamm. And then over the course of a few more years, they made some more bad decisions and decided to bring me on as kind of like the lead moderator. And it's just kind of evolved from that. Now I do contracting work for Ecamm. I'm not an employee, but I'm the YouTube manager, project manager, and then I deal with lots of other stuff for Ecamm, and then I still support Doc. There was one point in time where I was doing like 13 live streams a week. Thankfully, that's improved dramatically.
Yeah. I was going to say, anybody worth watching, you're the moderator for. I'm just going to say that. So,
but it's been a learning experience. I've learned a lot along the way.
Yeah,
fun.
how did you? What made you think? I like this moderating thing. It's a lot of fun. What really made you think that? Hey, I want to do this.
I never really had that thought. Things just started happening, and it was like, I was looking for something to do, and this kind of just fell into that place. And it suddenly it was kind of like I turned around and like, how did you get here? Type thing. It was never planned. I knew nothing coming into this, and it's all kind of been on the job training and learned by mistakes, and here we are.
Well, so if you guys have ever been on a stream that Paul is moderator for, you know that if you have questions, you start them off with Q:, or else it's just a comment. I know he's saying it's just not the same. If Paul said it'd be different, but yeah. So definitely get your questions out there. I know I've already got one from Enda that we'll be hitting out there. So I just want to know how, in your opinion, how has the role of moderator changed in 2025?
It's kind of gotten to the point where moderators have a lot of control, and a lot of times, the people don't necessarily realize that. I can come into a stream. I'm very careful when I come into a stream because I kind of have a reputation now. So I will stand back in the background and kind of just watch frequently because I have to be careful if I say hi. And this is anybody that does, is kind of known, like Doc and anybody. I can disrupt a stream just by coming into it frequently. So I usually listen before I come in. But you're kind of you're kind of the conductor. You're kind of controlling what happens with the audience and all that stuff. You are answering questions. I've gotten to the point that I know most of the people I work with a lot now, that I kind of know how to read the room, which is extremely important. But you kind of are gauging the flow and what's going on. So, if questions, comments, you can deal with rowdy people by removing them or getting rid of them, whatever, kind of telling them, no, that's not allowed in here or something like that. But it's become, I think, more important with some of the craziness that's starting to happen, in the communities and stuff. Ecamm is an incredible, the community is incredible because we don't have a lot of the rowdy people that you see on a lot of the other streams. So that's kind of a benefit to things. And I think some of it too is we've trained our people how to act. And, we deal with people that, problem causes and stuff, before they even get started.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Hello there, camera. Go bye-bye. Okay, there we go. That's, yeah. We joked about that.
See what I
I
started?
Yeah. So, do you think that, you've been moderating for at least 4 years that I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say there's been a dramatic change over the past 4 years as far as, I know the levels of moderation have changed on YouTube. That's a good thing. There's more things you can set up now. But
yeah, YouTube, from the standpoint of YouTube, they've added a lot more functionality into the channels to kind of help on the moderating side. When I started, we got tons of spam coming into chat and stuff like that. So I created that blocked word list, and that helped. YouTube has kind of picked up on some of that, and they've started blocking spam and stuff too. But they've also added another feature, which, some people know, some people may not know. If you're a moderator on a stream and you look into the comment section, you're going to see 3 dots. If you click on those 3 dots next to somebody's comment, you have an option of, looking at the person's channel to begin with. You also can go back and you can click on another one, which lets you see their history on that particular channel. So that helps you. When I see somebody come in and it's kind of like, are these, what's going on here? I can kind of look at that person. I look at their channel to see if it looks like it's real or a bot or something like that. And then I look to see if they've made any comments historically on the channel and just kind of see what's happened there. And I can see if we've ever blocked them, put them on timeout, those types of things. And so YouTube has added a lot more help on the channels and stuff to kind of deal with this stuff.
Yeah. So, to that, what do you think are like kind of 3 main traits that a good moderator needs to have?
The biggest one, I think, is being able to read the room, kind of know when to talk and when to stay quiet. It's like when I first started and I would come on the stream, I would say hi to everybody and, all that stuff, which, got some interaction and stuff like going. But I discovered over time, once the stream starts, that actually kind of was a confusion. It just added noise to the channel. So I backed off on that. During the intros and all that stuff, I'll say hi to people and all that stuff. But when the stream actually starts, I won't say hi to everybody. I may put a generic, welcome everybody or something like that. And if somebody calls me out and says hi, I'll say hi back. But I don't say hi to everybody as they come in. It also got really crazy. But at the same time, too, knowing the host and how they operate, if you're starting out as a moderator, the best thing you can do is just kind of quasi stay quiet or watch for a while if there's other moderators or stuff like that, kind of see what the flow is, how that channel works. I now know a lot of times in workshops, when people start asking questions, yes, I could answer that question, but I back off on those questions and wait to see if the person, the person doing the workshop or the host is going to answer that question. So I become a lot more selective in what I deal with. And the same thing with, people coming in and making comments. There are some hosts that can get squirreled very easily. So if I see a comment come in that's totally off topic and I know we're trying to stay on topic, I'll respond to that and make a comment. But, I talk when I need to and I stay quiet when I need to. And I think that's the biggest thing that moderators, need to learn. And it's also up to the show host to kind of help the moderators understand what you are expecting from the moderator. If you just make somebody a moderator and you don't say anything, it's like, you're going to get, whatever happens. People are going to maybe remove people or, wipe comments or do stuff like that. And you may not want that. There are live streams that I am on. That is a no-no. I do not remove question or comments. If that's going to happen, there's somebody else or the host themselves will remove the comments. But, I think the biggest thing is reading the room.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Know when to talk and know when to shut up.
Yeah. We've got a bunch of questions out here, so let's get started.
Hey.
First one we had, let me go find it because it slipped off the screen. Why? Why did it slip off the screen?
It ran away.
It ran away. I want to show it, but it's like literally like came in before we started, so that's why I can't display it. It says, I know of at least 2 channels that allow troll comments on live streams because it boosts engagement and views. They will, however, time out a troll if the comment is very offensive. What are your thoughts on that?
Again, it's up to what the host, the channel owner, some people, that's okay. They want that kind of stuff. And, it's just, that's the way the community goes. And, people can make comments against each other and, get into like battles. If that's the way they want to run their channel, far be it, let it happen. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's a problem. And then I have trouble watching streams where stuff like that's going on because I catch myself trying to like remove a comment or do something and I can't. So it's.
Yeah, I'm kind of the mindset of free speech, unless it's abusive, then I'm going to put you in timeout or I'm going to say, adios. Don't hang out here. A lot of people saying hello. And as you said, Paul, your question should look like this. Otherwise, it's our comments. Hey, Katie. How you doing there?
Hey, Katie. The other thing with that, too, is kind of, like I said, reading the room, but understanding. I mean, there are comments. People make comments, and it's like, they're kind of like questionable, but they're like, okay. It's like you don't want to get crazy and censor, get carried away with censoring and stuff like that. It's like if they're not hurting anybody and the host hasn't done anything or said anything, then, it's like, it's okay. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, if the host can just ignore them unless they're causing trouble in the community and the live chat, then yeah, I'm kind of in agreement there. Mikey, Koreans and Mikey says, are you supposed to pay mods? So I would say you get what you pay for, but and let you answer that.
Most of the time, it's kind of like there's some things I do with had some streams in the past. If it's been an event or something like that where I have gotten paid. A lot of times it's just I'm giving back to the community. The community has given me lots of information, and so it's a way for me to give back to that community. And it's kind of, I look at it frequently as volunteering. It's between the channel owner and the moderator, but as a moderator, I wouldn't come into something and expect that you're going to get paid. That it.
On the flip side to that, if you have an all volunteer army, so to speak, then you don't have consistency, and so paying somebody or working out some arrangement where they're consistently going to be on the stream, then then that's got to be a bonus and definitely helpful to hosts when they're doing their show.
Yeah. I mean, if I was doing an event where people were paying to join that event and something like that, that would be, I'd have a different conversation with the person. But generally speaking, most of the channels out there, it's not like they're making lots of money and stuff like that. I've had situations where some channel owners, they, instead of paying me physically, they may have a course or something like that, or something, and they give me access to the course or something like that, in kind of in trade and stuff like that. So it's kind of between the two of you what you think is right.
Yeah.
Hey, Gretchen.
Yeah. Matt Haas says, what is your process or method for storing all the CTA URLs or canned answers you likely place in the comments? Ooh, what is the magic? Because you do put those links out there quick, Paul.
I have two Stream Deck XLs, a Stream Deck Plus, and a Stream Deck Pedal. And so on one of the Stream Decks, I have a button for every single show that I moderate for. And when I click that button, it then takes me to another screen or multiple pages that have all of the links, call to actions and stuff that are normally used. And then frequently before a show, like with Ecamm, those change frequently. So I get the news information and load it into onto my Stream Deck, but they're all literally buttons that I push on my Stream Deck. Either that or I use text expander.
Yeah. So
it's a combination of those two.
Yeah.
Yep.
Matt says that's good info. Talk and stay silent when you need to. I really liked your advice of reading the room. That's a skill you have to learn, though. That's not all born with that skill. It's just know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Yep.
And Gretchen and Roy and Paul, top talent tonight. Sorry, Paul's here and Paul's talking to me. So yes, we have top talent tonight. So Paul's here and I'm hanging out with Paul. So how many mods should a channel have? Like if you have 100,000 subs, I go to some channels and everyone is a mod. So yeah.
I mean, even on Ecamm, we've had situations where most of the commenters have a wrench, or blue. Right. It's kind of up to you. I think a lot of it depends on how many people normally show up for your stream. I mean, I suggest everybody have at least one, or a couple, because then, if somebody's not there, you're still covered and stuff like that. But I think it's, you kind of gauge it. The big thing from a channel owner's standpoint is when you give a wrench away, that's not a lifetime achievement award. You can take that wrench away at any point in time. And there are situations where I've given a wrench out temporarily to kind of help with the situation. And then at the end of the stream, I take it back. I've even actually, I have access to the back-end studio for like Doc's channel and Ecamm. I was on an Ecamm stream one time and I actually banned myself from the channel.
Well, you knew it was time.
Yep. So I had to then go into the back end and unban me. But like, yeah, Katie, it was kind of fun.
I'm just not going to act right today, so I'm going to ban myself.
I was like, why can't I type? I'm like trying to type something in chat and it's not true. And it's like, what the heck? And then I like, oh my God, I banned myself.
Yeah, Katie says that's what makes you so quick. Stream Deck buttons and text expander, super smart. So yeah. She said, yeah, we had to get Paul back in. So yep. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I've done some dumb things along the way myself. As far as the other thing too, if there's people or potential moderators and stuff, or even channel owners out there, banning somebody from a YouTube channel is like the very last thing you should ever do, and you should only do that if you've gotten direct permission from the channel owner. Yeah. If you haven't got that, just time the person out. And YouTube has added something. I mean, worst case is you can time them out for, basically 24 hours, for the rest of the stream. It used to be the max, I think, was like 15 minutes at the most or something like that. Because if you ban somebody, basically you hide them from the channel, that starts a back end process on YouTube. And what happens is if that has not been removed within 24 to 36 hours, it will go through the YouTube channel. It will go through every single video on that YouTube channel, and it will remove that person and all of their comments that they have ever made on that channel. So you need to be very careful when you do that. And what I usually do is if I ever get rid of somebody on a channel that I'm moderating on for some, if it's just they're a total pain in the neck, and I do that, I will always go back to the channel owner and say, I banned this, I blocked this person during the channel. So if it might be a friend or something like that, they can always go in and undo it if necessary. But yeah, that is something that as a moderator, that is a absolute last resort thing you want to do. Just use the timeout as much as possible. But, unless you have specific or you know what you're doing or you understand, what, don't ever hide somebody or remove them from the channel.
Yeah. Let's see. Matt says, Katie Fox, Paul's answer, Stream Deck, kind of brilliant. Simple but brilliant. So, Mikey says, I'm not even a mod on my own channel. You don't have to be. You're the host. You
own it.
You own it, yeah. Katie says, so true. Awesome fun things. Yep. Hi, everyone. Hey, welcome. So, talk to me about blocked words. So you have a list. By the way, links to all the wonderful places to find Paul. Other than I should put an Ecamm link out there because you can always find Paul there too. But I put his 2 channels and also a link to his website where he has his block list. But he's going to tell us about this because that has saved me so much on my channel. So Paul, tell us how block words help prevent trolls.
Several years ago when we were getting lots of, come see the girls kind of messages dumped in, it was happening a lot. I started going out and combing and I compiled this list. It's over 2,000 words and phrases. And there are some very explicit words in there. So, unless you want to learn something, you can look at the list, but I wouldn't suggest, unless you really want to know something, Googling anything on the list because you might get an education. But it's stuff that you don't want to have set on your channel. So what happens is when you load that into the back end studio, basically if anybody types anything that has that word in it, it will never show up in comments. Even as a moderator of the channel, you will never see those comments. They never show up. There are certain words that YouTube looks at that may pop up and it may put it on hold and a moderator or the channel owner needs to approve it before it shows up. But these are things that don't show up ever. One of the things we found in that list was the word balls. Now, certain situations, you don't want that word to come up, but there are other situations. If you're a sports person talking about baseball or something like that, soccer, hockey, whatever, the word ball is going to come up and you want that to show up. So, and we ran into this a while back because somebody had a channel and people weren't able to comment. And it was because the word ball was in the blocked word list and it was blocking that from appearing. So you probably need to go through and find, see if there's anything in there that, you don't want. You can always remove it from the list, but, I know it helped us tremendously on DocStream and some of the others that I was doing. With it, cut the garbage stuff out almost completely.
Yeah, I was going to say like Pat Flynn's Pocket Monsters. If you were blocking Pokeball, that would probably be bad.
Yeah. Yep.
So anyway, yeah. Here's the thing. I will say, yes, I have made the mistake of looking up some of the words in the list, and so, okay. One night though, I wasn't thinking, and I was demonstrating something where I showed customized settings, and there's the word list. It pops up, and I'm like, oh my goodness! So I do have a favor to ask. If sometime next time you curate the word list, put safe words at the top, words that are not so as offensive to the others, so that if I accidentally display that.
One of the things that YouTube does when you load the list in, is it alphabetizes things.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
So one of the things that I've been meaning to do is to go through the list and take the words that you probably don't want to know and bury them in it. But like I said, once you actually load the list, YouTube alphabetizes the blocked words, supposedly so you can find things. So yeah, you have to be kind of careful. Know your
Yes.
audience before you show the list.
Yes, now I know some unlawful carnal knowledge that I didn't need. Things that I don't need to know. I'm like, I don't need to know that. Anyway, I will not give any examples. You'll just have to use your imaginations, folks. Just go get Paul's block word list, and your life will change. Maybe for good, but your channel will definitely benefit. But I don't know if you want to learn all that stuff.
Yeah, there was a period of time where I was constantly updating it because I'd see something in the channel. I used to even add to that a list of people that bought the list. I would send them lists of channels to block because we'd see stuff coming in, and it's quieted down. It's like I think the last time I updated the list was like maybe 3 months ago. And if I ever update the list, I give you, I let you know.
Okay.
But prior to that, it's probably been 6+, if not 9 months since the last time I updated it. So it doesn't, YouTube, it's either the blocked list is working really well or YouTube has made some changes on their side to kind of help with things too. But yeah, it's definitely an improvement.
I've had my copy of your block word list since you first started. As soon as you mentioned, I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. So mine's probably missing some updates. So we'll have to talk. Thank you, Do Bordeaux for now for saying hit the like button. Thanks everybody. Rich Vibes in the house. You are up late, gentlemen. How you doing, sir? Paul's block word list is epic. Yes, indeed. Yeah, thanks, Tech Troublemaker. Super helpful. Yes, that block word list. I was getting all the little XXX and XYZ, and it just blocked all that. I don't even see that stuff anymore. I don't even know if it still exists because it's gone. Did we talk about channel rates?
I was thinking at one time, it's like, I wonder if I remove the list, what would happen? But I figured that's too risky, so I just haven't tested the waters over there. I kind of look around in other places and I see other channels where things pop up occasionally. But so I'm assuming that YouTube has done a lot to kind of help things. But it's yeah. Katie would kill me.
Stuart's asking, did you talk about channel rates? I did not talk about channel rates. I don't know if that's really a moderation topic per se. I can come back to that here in a little bit, Stuart. We'll talk about that. But Rich Vibes saying hi to everybody. As an early adopter of the block word list, it has my highest endorsement. Thank you, Paul.
Yes. Thank you, Gretchen.
Hi, David Hunt. Hey, Matt. Stuart knows about trolls. He's had the worst of the worst. Yeah, so... dealing with trolls in this day and age. With your block word list, do you ever see them anymore? Are some still getting through somehow?
It's a rare thing nowadays. It's very rare that we see anything anymore. And like I said, I think it's a combination of the blocked word list and things that YouTube has done. YouTube has gotten much better with actually getting rid of channels and dumping a lot of the people where that wasn't the case before. They would kind of hang around and cause all kinds of problems. The other thing I do too is if somebody is doing something really, aggravating or causing problems, there's also, as a moderator, there's an option when you go to remove the comment that you can also report it. So that flags YouTube that person is causing problems. And that helps a lot too, because that will help kind of get them removed.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. David Hunt says that I had that list. It is the truth. Hey, Paul and Roy from Florence. Mikey says people spelling out words one letter at a time is a big problem. He's got some of that blocked, but you can't outthink the world. They surprise you all the time.
There were frequently people you would block. You would kind of remove somebody from the channel, and then they come back in with, the quasi same name. They just change a few characters around. So, for all intents and purposes, it was a different channel. So you still occasionally get those things.
Yeah. Let's see, Equipment Institute, Florence. Yeah, I'll say hello, mods. Hey, David. Hey, Dope or Dope for now. Hello. Yeah, so going back here. Ta-da, split screen. What's the best way to handle trolls and toxic chat? I mean, besides you just put them in timeout, is that usually, what's your method?
Most of the time, what they're doing is they're trying to disrupt the channel. So the best thing that can possibly happen is a moderator deals with it, gets rid of removes the comment or whatever, and the host does not acknowledge it. Where I see the biggest problem happening is something comes in, it throws the host off, they start commenting on it or they react to it, and it's like it shifts the whole, it kind of disrupts the stream, and the troll has gotten what they wanted. That's their goal, is they're trying to disrupt the stream. So as long as the comment gets handled, wiped out, all that stuff, not hidden, but remove the comment, put the person on timeout if necessary, and the host doesn't respond to it at all, that's the perfect scenario, because they are trying to disrupt you and cause problems and confuse you and take you completely off track. And I've seen some hosts that just go ballistic when somebody posts something in and goes on this long rant, and it's like you just gave them what they were looking for, because they've more than likely left the channel and are gone. And you're just stuck on this now for 5 minutes, carrying on, and you've kind of messed up your stream, because that's now a permanent record in the stream. Whereas if you didn't say anything, the moderator removed it, it would never be seen on a replay. It's gone.
That's true. What can hosts do to support their moderators? What can we do that empowers and supports moderators for our channels? What's something you say, I wish that host would just do this. Why won't they do that? What is something we can do to support?
Having some guidelines, or something where you communicate with, letting the moderators know what you expect, what you want to have happen, how you want certain things to be handled, and like I said, if you don't want them to hide anybody, they're not going to know unless you tell them. So I think, and it's like having an ongoing communication, whether it's like an email list or something. I mean, we frequently have used Slack or even Discord in some cases, but have some channel of communication with your moderators where you can kind of update them and kind of let them know what's happening. On Ecamm side, we have a Slack channel, and we chat in that all the time. We see something, we post. I moderate the Facebook groups and things like that too. When I see something frequently, a stream is a little more live, and sometimes I'll do it, but frequently I will turn over to the back room line, the chat room with the mods, and say, here's the situation, what do you think? Because like with Facebook and those types of things, we all have our own prejudice. We all react to certain things the wrong way. So I kind of keep that in check with myself, and it's like, am I just projecting my thoughts, my beliefs, my things on people, or is this really a problem? So I'll always ask in the other mods, what do you think? Here's the situation. Do you see this as a problem or not? And we frequently have discussions back and forth, and then we deal with it. It's so not operating in a vacuum is really important.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, Mike says, don't feed the troll. He says, what do you think must be subscribed for 20 minutes before able to comment? Okay, so what do you think about setting a limit of how long somebody has to be subscribed before they can comment on your channel?
I think it depends on your channel. If you have a base community, and it's like with Ecamm, we have a very good community. Everybody, acts. Occasionally we get somebody in, but it's not a big problem. If you're having situations with raids and stuff like that, then yes, turn something like that on so that you're protecting yourself, and kind of, most people that are trying to create a problem aren't necessarily going to stick around for 20 minutes to create the problem. They're going to go off and find somebody else that's an easy mark. So, if you're having problems, that can be helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some where you have to be like, you have to subscribe to the channel before you can talk and stuff like that. So, whatever you can do to protect yourself. But I said it's truly based on your community.
Yeah. And I understand what Stuart's saying now about the channel rates, because I've seen that where a channel gets rated. Now, Stuart, in your customization, you can turn off channel rates, or you can set specifically who's allowed to raid your channel. So that might be something that you want to look at, because you can set that where they have to be allowed to raid your channel in order to do it, or you just turn that feature off completely. So,
yeah, they added that a while back, which was nice because that frequently was happening, and so now they gave you the ability to control who can do that. So if somebody's like with Ecamm now, if somebody's going to do, we have that happen frequently, but it's coordinated. We know it's going to happen. We have it set up, so we allow that person to send their channel, to push everybody over.
Yeah. Let's see. Stuart says, thanks for this great topic. Yeah, it is definitely a great topic to talk about moderation. And Bordeaux for now says, I agree. Created some Mikey. Yep. So what do you think the future kind of moderation is? I mean, with so many AI tools coming and bots, so many bots out there that are getting programmed, and you'll see bots, and some are the bots you bring in, Nightbot and that type of thing. But people using bots and stuff. What do you think is kind of the future of moderation?
I think there's always going to be a physical person involved with it. I mean, you may be able to get away with some stuff, but you're going to run the risk of things not getting, it getting too overprotective of your channel and stuff like that, and getting rid of things that you don't want to do, and you don't want to alienate your audience. I mean, if I come onto your channel and it's like every time somebody makes a comment that's like negative towards you or something like that, I start, removing them, people are not going to show up anymore. So I think the human being is going to be needed to kind of strike that balance between, free speech and, don't get carried away.
Yes, AI is going to take over. So what is like one of the most memorable moments you've had as a moderator where I guess things just went off the rails and you had to jump in and save the day? What's probably some of the craziest things that you've seen happen?
A lot of it was in the old days when we used to get the, XXX, come see the girls, or, that type of stuff. They would come in landslides. And it's like on like Ecamm's Facebook group, if you really want an education, do that. I have seen a tremendous amount of, and it comes in flows different times of the year, but a tremendous amount of porn trying to be posted to the Ecamm Facebook group. And we have it set up where anybody that tries to join the group, it has to be approved. And there are some people, the system will trigger, depending on what they do, it may put them on post approval, where if they try to post something, we have to approve it. But it's like, there's a lot of stuff on the back end. And I mean, that was the first time that started happening. It was like, what the heck? And we had an older lady on, that was also a moderator that was extremely religious. And it was like, I told her one day, I said, you do not want to go on the Facebook group. You do not want to look at, people that are subscribing and stuff. And I would post this every so often. It's like, don't look at the, people trying to join the Facebook group. I said, we're in porn season again, and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's some interesting things that happen.
Yeah. So for a growing channel, somebody's just starting out and they're just starting to do live streams, when do you think they should consider getting a moderator?
Right away.
Right away. Okay. Well, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Just go ahead and stop the riffraff early.
Yeah, and it's a two-way street too. It's like usually, when you're first starting out, find somebody that you trust, and then you kind of you learn how to work with a moderator and kind of see what works and what doesn't work and all that stuff, and kind of go from there. And like I said, it's not a lifetime achievement award. If you get somebody and you make them a moderator and you start seeing things happening that you don't like, I mean, you can have a conversation with them, but you can always take the wrench away. I mean, it's like, I don't expect, I mean, I have lots of wrenches, but it's like, I don't expect those to be there permanently. If somebody takes the wrench away from it, that's their choice. I mean, I'm not going to be upset. It's like, I mean, it was a gift. It was kind of a temporary, gift to me. It's like, if they want to take it back or something changes, that's fine. It's like, I'm not going to be upset or cry about it unless it's docked.
I would say that you have become, as a moderator, you've become a character in of the show, of so to speak. Well, Doc's already a character, but definitely, being a part of that and being part of the Ecamm team, you've become. Everybody's gotten to know you. You're your own person. I've met you in person and know that you're awesome in person too. So, of course, that's been the Ecamm community. There's just something about Ecamm. There's only nice people in Ecamm. I haven't met any mean people in Ecamm. So that's, I don't know what that says.
Lock them all away.
Yeah, the software makes people nice. So that's why Ecamm is the perfect streaming software for everybody.
Well, and I think a lot of it too is we have kind of set the ground rules, and we deal with stuff that goes on. And a big thing with us too, like in the Facebook groups and stuff like that, is the community actually starts patrolling itself. And so what I have to do, the moderators have to do frequently, is we have to stop conversations. And it's not that we're trying to like shut you down or stop you from making comments, but there are certain things that are triggered, and the group will start going on the attack and like standing up for Ecamm or standing up for other people. And so we get to a point where we'll kind of make a closing comment in the post and say, we're turning off, comments at this point, and you have to do those kinds of things too. But, frequently, like with the Ecamm community, the Ecamm community patrols itself very well. And it's like, if Riffraff comes in and tries to start something, we have to kind of like hold back the troops. It's like, whoa.
All right. I want to show people where to go find you in case they just don't know how to click a link in my description. So let's see what happens. Ta-da! Okay, so here is the Paul Duncan. So I noticed you'd started a new channel.
Yeah, I had the moderator channel, and then I started this one because I wanted to have a place for like the miscellaneous stuff. I want to kind of do some YouTube or some Ecamm videos and things like that, help tips and whatnot. But then I'm looking at kind of like helping older people, or, that, have a little bit of technology getting started and things like that, with stuff. So this is kind of the miscellaneous channel. So I can keep my moderator channel, moderator stuff, but yet I have an outlet for all the other stuff. It's like that one on the end with all the crazy stuff. When I first got started in live streaming and stuff, there was something like go live every day, or there was something that we were doing, and we had to basically go live. I had never gone live before, and I was absolutely terrified. I knew I was going to die. And so I kind of played on that, and that's the recording of that very first one. I went across the street to a medical facility and sat in the patio and did my live stream there, because I figured when I die, which I knew I was going to happen, I would not be in the apartment where my cat's around and might get hungry before somebody found me and decide. And then I figured too, if I was in a medical building and I did collapse, that somebody might find me and might be able to bring me back to life. But I was terrified, but at the same time I thought, okay, you're afraid, you might as well have fun with this. So that's kind of what I did.
Wow. Wow. Just wow. And then this is the Mr. Moderator channel, which, by the way, I highly recommend. Get here and go to playlist and watch this playlist 101 here to learn so many tips about moderation. It's just really awesome little videos there that you put together. I really enjoy those.
I'm going to be updating those starting next month after we come back from Creator Camp. I've got a couple videos that I've got in the works that I want to do, to make some updates, because I haven't put anything on that channel for
a while,
well over a year. I'll put it that way. And I'm still getting views. People are coming, people are subscribing and stuff. So I want to kind of start rebuilding that and, enhancing what's out there. And I'm always open for suggestions.
I've got your sticker that you gave out at Creator Camp that matches your logo on that. So I have the sticker on my Mac. So anyway, I like that sticker. That is awesome stuff. Oh, we got some more folks out here. I see. Hang on, Lala just got here. Hey, Lala.
Hi, Lala.
Lala, you're not late. You're just early late. So.
Hey, Kim.
Matt says a good qualification to determine if a potential mod is trustworthy is, have you been to my home? Have we met in person? Not a hard rule, but a good start.
Well, the other thing too, as a like the owner of a channel or something like that, is you kind of watch people, find out somebody that's coming, that shows up frequently and stuff like that is being helpful, and test the waters with them, give them a shot, see what happens. But you kind of know what's happening. You're looking at the chat and stuff like that, so who's feeding into the channel and trying to help and provide good feedback and stuff like that. So go that. I highly discourage a channel owner of making somebody a moderator just because they ask for it.
Yeah,
because that frequently is a sign of you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah,
and you're going to be removing the wrench at some point, sooner than later, more than likely.
Gretchen says, get the block word list right away. I've always had it on my main channel. Let's put it back. Always had it on my main channel, but when I opened my second channel, I forgot to add it. Yikes. Didn't take long for problems to show up. List fixed it. Yep.
That's good to know, because that kind of reinforces the fact that it's still helpful out there.
Yeah.
Because she hasn't had that other channel for that long.
No. Kombucha, hey Kim, how you doing? Sorry to be tardy to the party, but hello, welcome. Mommy, meeting ended late. Yeah, you gotta be where you gotta be. La, we understand that. Hi Kim, just arrived as well. Hey, hello, Mommy God. La, everybody saying hello. Yep. Hey, Matt, Gretchen, Stuart, David, Lawrence, Rich, Katie, Doe, Laura, George, everybody. Yes, the block word list is an amazing protection. Yes, that block word list is amazing. The link to his website where you can get that block word list is in the description. So I definitely recommend. Yeah. So, and it's a bargain. It really is. You got to go look. I won't say the price so it doesn't date the video, but when you see it, oh, that's all it is. Yes, it's worth it. So I think that's fantastic. So. Yeah, and George also saying hello to Lala. I don't have any trivia, George, so I'm sorry. There's nothing here for you to win tonight. I apologize. George probably has all the Ecamm merch, just like all of it,
yes,
at his house. So,
yep.
Probably has a special closet just for Ecamm merch. So
he has an Ecamm wing.
Yes, an Ecamm wing. Oh, good, Lala. Thank you. She posted the link for me to your channel, to your. There we go. So anyway, yeah, it's in the chat. So there you go. Go visit that, and you can go and get that word list. He's also got some cool other merch out there as well. You got to see. Oh, perfect. I was going to ask if there was a recommended list. Yes, that is the list. It is the list that I personally use. Gretchen uses it. Lala uses it. I don't know who else here. I'll let it slide this time. Yes, George is the Hall of Famer. Much to my wife's chagrin. Yes, that's this. He's talking about a special closet of Ecamm merch. Yep. Yeah. So, oh wait, there's another question. So we'll get this last one, and then let's see. As moderator, Paul, have you seen bots have conversations in chat or in comments? I had that happen a couple times, and it's so odd to see.
I've seen that as recently. It is something I have. It hasn't happened a lot, but there have been situations where I've seen that. And you weren't here earlier, but when I talked about the three, the three dots on the to the right of a comment, if you click on that, you have a couple options. One is to look at the person's channel. The other one is to look at the history that the person has typed on your channel. So if this has popped up occasionally, you can kind of see historically the kind of comments that they have made. But you can also look at their channel discreetly while you're on the stream and kind of see what's going on. And we've gotten kind of good at kind of telling the sites that are problem children potentially. And if they come back again, I may remove the comment, but if they come back again, then it's kind of like I just put them on timeout. And if they come back a third time and do something, frequently I'll just post something to them, a response, and then I will delete it later on. But if they come back a third time, then I just time them out for the rest of the show. Frequently, if it's an Ecamm show or a stream where I know we're going to do back-to-backs or something like that, I'll just time them out till the next day.
Do you?
And if they come back after that, it's like then they're really in trouble.
You're done. Yep. Do you use a feature where you can slow down the chat? I noticed that's an option. I never do it, but I see that you can slow down how often people can post.
Yeah, I mean that helps on kind of like really busy streams.
Mm-hmm.
It just all it's doing is preventing a person from like repeatedly typing something in. You get people to do that occasionally. They'll type something, then turn around, type something in. It's not actually going to slow the chat down. If you've got a lot of people commenting, you're still going to get bombarded with lots of comments, but it will prevent people from, it puts a time break. It's like, okay, you make a comment, you have to, wait X number of seconds before you can make a next comment. So it can help, but sometimes it's more problems. It creates more problems than it solves.
Yeah. All right. So, the thing about this channel is I tried to help, folks that are scared to go push that go live button or scared to push that record button. What advice do you give people to just say, get started?
Do it. I mean, don't wait for perfection, because if you wait till you've got everything perfect, you're probably going to be streaming from a box about 6 feet under the ground, and Wi-Fi service is really bad down there. Just do it. You can only get better by doing it and making mistakes. It's okay. I mean, it's like I came in today. I've been on streams and different things, most of the day. I came on this one and everything went south. And it's like, it happens, and it's like, okay, well, we just go with the flow.
Yeah.
But just do it and improve. Every time you go live the next time, you learn something from the past time, make improvements, learn stuff. Watch your stream. If you've done a live or you've been on somebody else's stream, go back and watch it. It's the only way that you're going to learn. And, like, oh, okay, I wished I would have done that different. Okay, do that differently the next time. It's like, it's okay. Be you. You're not perfect.
Yes, that's how I
kind of the way it is.
That's how I found out I say the word so a lot, is go back and watch my stream. I'm like, oh, man, I get nervous and I say the word so. So I was trying to do that. Paul, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. I thank you so much. You just gave
Thanks
much
for having
wisdom.
Me.
So much wisdom. And I enjoy seeing you all the different streams that you moderate. I watch so much of the Ecamm community, and so I see you in so many places. I saw you on Doc's stream today where he's talking about the Apple event, and so that was a lot of fun. So yeah, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate everything you do for the Ecamm community, and definitely for all the hosts that you help out. You add a lot of value to the channels that I watch, and I really do appreciate what we do, and just was awesome when I've met you in person at Creator Camp. And so, yeah, just fantastic stuff.
Yeah, that was a cool thing at Creator Camp. I mean, the first Creator Camp, when I went to that, I had only met 2 people in the streaming world, that in real life. And then I hadn't even met Katie, Doc, all the, the people that I was working with. And then after going to that first Creator Camp, I came away with that knowing 100 people. And then each year it's added more to the, so it's like, I now have connections to people. It's like, yeah, you have legs, these are real people, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But like I said, got to meet you and, a bunch of people. It's been really fun. So it's like, I've known people all over the world, but now I feel like there are people around the world that are my family.
And I'm sad because I'm not going to Creator Camp this year. I'm sad. I obligated myself to something else, and so anyway.
You will be missed.
I will be missed. Well, you ain't got to go that far, Paul, and lie to me, but okay. Gretchen says, those are the same words Paul said to me 4 years ago when I was stressing at live number 1. Now I've done over 650. And Lala says, thanks, Roy and Paul. I'll watch the majority on replay. And Creator Camp was also, I met Paul and Katie and Gretchen and Roy and everyone else during that awesome event. Yes, George, Dave wants to know if you're going to Creator Camp. Hakuna Matata. Unfortunately, not this year. Oh, no. All right. It was a great show. Great to see Paul front and center. Yes. Thank you so much, Paul. All right, everybody, have a wonderful night. Let's see. I'm supposed to tell you to do something. A call to action or something here. We'll go with this one. All right, hey. YouTube is going to put a video over my face and say you should watch that. So, and YouTube's never wrong. So, you should watch that. Yeah. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for watching. Bye. Tech Troublemaker, make a scene.